It's actually interesting. Well, so much emphasis is put on Crosby, Stills, Nash's performance at Woodstock, and the world's a small place story is that I grew up very, very close to Bethel, New York, which is where the Woodstock Festival took place. So I grew up about 15 minutes from there, and I've actually played there, and so it's kind of cool for me because I've been to the reunions that take place on that site, Yasgur's Farm, which is now not Yasgur's any longer, but they're building that place up again, which is interesting. So for me, it's sort of like keeping this sort of tradition alive. And it's interesting for me because when I listen to Crosby, Stills, and Nash's lyrics, they really focus on something that is still very, very prevalent, aside from government and things like that. But the one major thing that they wrote about, and I think is so powerful, is the distance in a generation gap. And they could acknowledge that. And I think that the baby boomer generation was onto that, and they understood it, and they weren't shy of focusing on it in some ways, not to make the gap bigger, but to close it. And I think that's a really, really cool song topic, and they knew how to revisit that thing, and I think a lot of people need to find that. For me, I think the art is in the writing. The art is in the writing first, and then it's whatever happens to the song. So to be acknowledged for that is a great compliment for me. Just because I really do put emphasis on. Well, there would be no such thing as a great singer if there was no song for them to perform. You know what I mean? And without the song, the great singers would never be heard because they'd just be, I don't know, singing ingredients on a menu for some entree. I think that music is the most immediate and powerful pop culture catalyst that there is, and I think that it needs to be used in ways that can really move the world in better directions. There are a lot of things that music's used for, selling a product or getting people to light things on fire for fun or like have a mosh pit. But there's things that are big and important that music can target and can lead pop culture in a direction maybe that it's never been.